So somebody asked me, what is an infrastructure bond? Like really, what does that mean? I'll be explaining that on this video. This is Rina Hicks. You're on MoneyWise, where we create, grow, and preserve wealth. So an infrastructure bond is a bond that the government issues, or it borrows money from people to use in order to help develop infrastructure. And so those things are things like water and sanitation, roads, rail, transportation generally, aviation issues and air traffic control stuff. And I'm speaking generally here. And, those kind of things, infrastructure, that the government needs for it to provide, the government needs to provide to the public for their use. And that is why they issue bonds to get to the point where they're able to provide these services to people, including things like power or energy. It's a service the government must provide to its people. And so sometimes the government doesn't have sufficient money to provide these things, the infrastructure for companies, for the people to be able to live comfortably, to do their work and function as they should. And so the government spends money to make sure they build rail, to make sure they build roads that connect people so that they can trade and do other things. The government is an enabler and it has to provide these things. And so because it has to, then if it doesn't have the money, we don't care. It has to provide the road, right? I need to get from here to wherever I need to go. So government, please provide that. And so for that to happen, the government borrows money. And so the government has set aside, and it's not unique to Kenya, it happens everywhere. There's an infrastructure bond that is issued to then raise the funds to provide this, to build this infrastructure. Now, the thing about infrastructure bonds, and it's globally, they are wonderful for the investor because they have incentives. They typically would have tax incentives, so it's tax-free. The other incentive it has is that the interest rate is typically a little bit higher than the other bonds to get people to invest, so the government can provide the infrastructure that it needs to so that we can thrive as a society. I hope that makes sense. So by investing, I guess you have a double bottom line. You're helping your government provide what it needs to for business to thrive and for people to do what they need to do. And you're also making a good return, and it's tax-free. This is Rina Hicks. You're on MoneyWise, where we create, grow, and preserve wealth.
This video is proudly brought to you by Faida Investments Bank.